Look at me. I want you to listen to me right now. You have worked your entire life. You have saved, you have sacrificed, and now you are either at the finish line or you are standing right on top of it looking into your golden years. And what is the one thing you cannot afford to play games with? Your money. More importantly, your cash flow. When you retire, the way you receive money changes. You are no longer waiting for that bi-weekly paycheck from an employer to drop into your account. Instead, you might be receiving a physical check for a pension payout. You might be getting a paper check from an old investment account rollover. Or maybe you just sold a piece of property, or a loved one sent you a generous gift to celebrate your retirement. So you take that check, and you decide to deposit it into Capital One. Maybe you use their mobile app, or maybe you walk right into a Capital One cafe or branch. And you ask yourself the golden question, does Capital One deposit checks immediately? Can I spend this money today to pay my supplemental health insurance, or to buy those airline tickets to see my grandkids? I am here to tell you the hard truth, because I care about your financial safety. No, they do not deposit checks immediately. And if you think they do, you are setting yourself up for a massive financial heartbreak. Let's talk about the absolute fear and the problem that so many retirees face today. The problem is a total misunderstanding of banking terminology. You open up your beautiful smartphone, you take a picture of a $5,000 check, and the screen pops up with a message that says submission successful. You look at your account balance, and sometimes you see that number reflected right there. So what do? You assume it's safe. You assume the money is yours. You go out, and you write a check to your contractor, or you authorize a big automatic debit for your monthly expenses. And then, 2 days later, boom. You get hit with an overdraft fee, or worse, your payment gets rejected. Why? Because submitted does not mean cleared. Posted does not mean available. The fear here is real. When you are on a fixed income, a single bounced check or a frozen account can trigger a domino effect that ruins your credit, drains your remaining cash via hidden fees, and causes you sleepless nights that you simply do not deserve at this stage of your life. You fear being locked out of your own money when you need it most. So let's answer the question directly. What is Capital One's actual policy? If you deposit a paper check into a Capital One checking account, whether you do it through your mobile app or at an ATM, that money is generally not available until the next business day. Hear me clearly, the next business day. And that is only if you get that deposit in before their cutoff time, which is usually 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you take a picture of a check on a Saturday afternoon, Saturday is not a business day. Sunday is not a business day. The process doesn't even truly begin until Monday, which means your funds might not be fully available until Tuesday. That is a 3-day gap where your money is floating in cyberspace. But wait, it gets even more serious. What if you are depositing that check into a Capital One savings account, like their popular 360 Performance Savings account? If you are moving a large lump sum of money into savings to earn some interest for your retirement, Capital One's standard policy states that those deposits can be subject to a hold of up to 4 business days. 4 days. If you think you can put money into that savings account and pull it right back out the next morning to cover an emergency, you are mistaken. They do this to protect themselves from fraud, but it is you who pays the price in lost time. Now, are there exceptions? Yes. If you have a government-issued check, like a Social Security check, or if it's an electronic direct deposit initiated by an outside agency, those funds are generally available immediately, the very same day they hit. If you deposit cash at a Capital One ATM, that is immediate. But a traditional paper check from an individual, a business, or an insurance company? No. It takes time. Why do they do this? Because Capital One has to go to the bank where the check originated and say, hey, does John Doe actually have this money in his account? That process takes time. And until Capital One gets paid, they are not going to let you walk away with their money. So what is your actionable takeaway? How do you protect your peace of mind and secure your retirement cash flow? I have 3 rules for you right now. First, never, ever assume a check is cleared just because it shows up under your recent transactions on your phone. You must look specifically for your available balance. If your total balance says $10,000 but your available balance says $5,000, that means $5,000 is an illusion. You cannot touch it. Do not write checks against it, and do not try to withdraw it. Second, if you are about to retire or are already retired, you need to set up direct deposit for every single recurring income source you have. I don't care if it's Social Security, your monthly pension, or your required minimum distributions from your IRA. Do not take them in paper checks. Have them electronically deposited. Electronic transfers bypass the paper check hold rules and give you the immediate access you deserve. Third, you must maintain a cash cushion. Never let your checking account run down to zero while you are waiting for a check to clear. Keep at least 1 to 2 months of living expenses in an easily accessible checking account that you never touch, just to act as a buffer. That way, when Capital One takes 2, 3, or 4 days to clear a check, you don't care. You aren't stressed. You aren't watching the app every hour waiting for the numbers to change. You are living your life. Your retirement should be about freedom, not about stressing over bank hold policies. Understand the rules of the game, stop expecting immediate miracles from paper checks, protect your cash cushion, and you will stand on solid financial ground. Stay safe and value your money.